way and point it this way so you can see all the cars.
Oh, me.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Me. Justin, you're fine. You're fine.
Yeah, just. Why don't you stand next to my car door
Oh, we can see them.
Oh, cool.
Our revolution.
I guess we'll start in like what, 20 seconds? Can you hear me okay?
Can you hear him?
Great. All right. Tell me when. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the CalCare Car Rally. Speak out for California Nurses Association in partnership with Our Revolution. We got a great crowd out here today to go ahead and talk about why we need CalCare for every Californian. That's healthcare for all Californians. Currently, 2.7 million uninsured Californians. We currently have 2.7 million Californians that do not have health coverage. There's 51% of Californians who report skipping or delaying care because of the cost of it. So we have people who are unable to afford to see a doctor. And nationally, 29% of all Americans lost their insurance at some point in 2020 due to COVID-19. That's 95 million people. It's an extreme disparity. There's so many people that don't have coverage, and we're close to getting Medicare for all, but since we can't get it on a federal level right now, we're pushing hard to get it in the state of California so that every Californian is covered and they never have to go without seeing a doctor again. It's universal coverage. The bill is AB 1400. It's AB 1400. It's a single public program. It covers everybody. It's fully comprehensive. It's medical, it's dental, it's hearing, it's vision, it's mental health, it's prescription drugs, it's long-term care, and more. And you have the freedom to choose your providers. It's free at the point of service. And we really need to come together and get millions of people to stand up and fight to get CalCare and get every single Californian covered so they never have to deal with never being able to see a doctor because of the cost again. And I want to go ahead and just move to some of the beautiful people that showed up today to support our cause. The first person I'd like to have say some words is Mr. Justin Sampson. Yeah. Hello. Should I? Can everyone hear me? Yeah. Sure.
Hello, my name is Justin Sampson. I've been a housing justice and Medicare for All activist for the past 5 years. I'm the chairman of Our Revolution Orange County, who I'm proud to sponsor this event with in conjunction with Our Revolution National and the California Nurses Association. This place is a really great place to be talking about CalCare and AB 1400 right now. We're in the middle of the Platinum Triangle in the city of Anaheim, which is a symbol of the haves and the have-nots, where the wealthy try to prevent us, the people, from getting health care. Now you might be answering, why do you care about health care so much? It's because I have such an intimate and personal relationship with our broken healthcare system. And it's why I'm involved in politics today, and why I'm involved in progressive politics, and why I got involved in our revolution. When my mom was diagnosed with cancer in 2008, our entire lives were turned upside down. She was working at the US Post Office, hoping to make a better life for herself and for her 3 kids. She came to this country with the hopes of a better life and to help her family back home financially in the Philippines. But all of that was turned upside down when she was diagnosed with cancer. She was forced into an early disability retirement where she received an insultingly low pension, where her healthcare premium was taken out of that particular pension. We were forced onto the Section 8 housing wait list. And after graduating from college in 2014, I chose to put all of my future plans on hold, including graduate school, just to be by my mom's side. It's at this time that I saw how broken our entire healthcare system was with my own eye. I saw my mom spend sleepless nights crying, wondering how we were going to pay the rent, how we were going to keep the lights on, and how we were going to put food on the table. She was even debating with herself and asking my opinion whether or not the copay she would use to go see the doctor would be better used to pay for groceries. It really seemed like a helpless situation. And when my mom passed away in 2017 from cancer and our broken healthcare system, that sadness turned into anger, and that anger turned into activism. I began knocking on doors for Medicare for All, up and down my community, letting them know that we can have better. We know the facts and figures. We hear how Medicare for All and how CalCare could save us money. But we don't hear these stories that we're hearing right now. We don't hear the intimate relationships that we see at a personal level, why we need it. And that's why I'm telling my story right now, because I will never stop fighting for healthcare for all. And I hope all of you can do the same. Right now we have a bill, AB 1400, as Tim mentioned. Let's call our representatives and ask them to support this bill. We also have the federal bill, HR 1976. Let's call our representatives to ask them to support that too. Let's watch them and let's hold them accountable if they choose not to support us and support healthcare for all. Thank you.
Yeah. Good job. Thank you so much, Justin Sampson. What's the solution? What's the solution? What's the solution? When we organize, we win. When we organize, we win. All right. Next coming up, guys, I'm going to go ahead and pass the mic to Mr. Muhammadraza. Give Muhammad a round of applause.
Thank you, everyone. And thank you so much for everyone to join us today. As you might or might not know, showing up is half the battle. And so it means so much to me that there are so many incredible activists right here in Orange County and around this country that are showing up and telling our elected officials what is important. And the only thing that is important right now is Medicare for all. That is the way we move forward. Am I right? Yeah. Today, I want to tell you a story about someone who is really, really important to me. A man whose commitment to his family goes beyond anything I've ever seen. This man is the only person I can truthfully say is a self-made man, and that is my father. We moved to the United States back in 2007 so that he could spend more time working on the ground in home with his family as he worked as a ship captain going around the world, making sure that that shipments are delivered properly. When my father came to the United States, he thought he would have a really great shot. As a person with a master's degree and 40 years of experience within the logistics industry in a place like Los Angeles, he should have been hired at the port immediately. But unfortunately, for some reason, his master's degree was not counted, which he got in the UK, and he was left with nothing other than his own wits and his own will. So he started a business. That didn't work out. So he spent the next decade working as a taxi driver and as an Uber driver so that he could make ends meet for his family because he wasn't being hired anywhere else. Over that decade, as he has come into his 60s, he has developed chronic back problems and arthritis. Now, that got so bad this past year that he had to start getting insurance because he had spent the last 10 years without insurance. Now, it was a shame that he couldn't spend that time getting the treatment that he needs so that he wouldn't have the problems these days. But even though he has Kaiser Permanente insurance, he went to the doctor and he got the test done. They ordered an MRI. He's like, all right, no problem. $350 to get an MRI, $150 to talk to this doctor for 5 minutes of his time. They found no diagnosis. So he went to another doctor who ordered another test, which cost another $500. He kept going to different doctors, different specialists, and getting tests done for 6 months. And none of them could give him any diagnosis other than, hey, why don't you just lose some weight? I know you're older, so you might need to lose some weight so your back muscles can have a little less strain on. They didn't help them. They didn't provide him with any prescription drugs to help with his pain. And not only that, his insurance covered absolutely nothing. We had to pay completely out of pocket, and our savings was decimated at that time. Thankfully, I had a stable job to support our family through that time. But still today, I see him come home after a 16-hour day, like moaning in pain at night. When he can't even get the strength to undress himself into his nights. That is what the system has done to us. And that is how much it has oppressed us. That's the thing. What we have done in this capitalist system is that we have created a for-profit industry where there should have been a non-profit industry. And that's why we need Medicare for all. Currently, the American insurance system is not only broken, it is useless. And the only way we are going to get through this is that if we get Medicare for all. This is why we need to eradicate the middlemen and bring about a revolution and pass Medicare for all now in the California state. No one deserves to live in pain just to go deeper in debt. This is slanderous to even think so. Thank you so much for our revolution, for doing such amazing work, and all of our activists for showing up and fighting the good fight. That's why I'm out here, and that's why I'm continuing to come out here to fight on behalf of what is right.
Everyone give it up for Muhammad. By the way, Muhammadraza was a field organizer for the Bernie Sanders 2020 presidential campaign in Orange County, and he helped us win Orange County in California for Bernie Sanders. Give him a round of applause. Awesome. Thank you so much. When we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. All right, great, guys. Up next, I want to go ahead and introduce Lindsey with the Democratic Party of Orange County. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Hey everyone.
Yeah.
My name is Lindsey LaFave, and I'm the Director of Activism and Outreach for the Democratic Party of Orange County. I have also been an adjunct professor in English for 10 years. You might not know, but over 60% of community college faculty in the state of California are contingent workers, meaning they are part of the gig economy. By the time most students get a bachelor's degree, over half of the units they have been taught are taught by people who do not have rehire rights or access to health care. Many of my colleagues went to school to get advanced degrees to come back into their communities to teach people just like them and to give them the promise of higher education. Today, those people are in insane amounts of student debt, and to top it off, these institutions are not providing them with any access to healthcare like their full-time counterparts. So today, I was asked, how do I feel about this? Well, I'm going to do this like an English teacher would. So I'm going to go ahead and give my inspiration to Elizabeth Bishop. This is inspired by her poem, The Art of Losing. The art of losing isn't hard to master. So many of us have lost now. The loss doesn't feel like disaster. In a pandemic, we can practice losing farther, losing faster. When the determining factor is a copay, is a deductible, is a lack for those who matter. When zip code is destiny, the community is the health actor. And when access is complicated, there are those we lose faster. The art of losing isn't hard to master. Are we being efficient in this disaster? If the mole doesn't disappear, or if my broken arm needs plaster, there is disaster in this current chapter. The art of losing isn't hard to master. The tooth that waits to be fixed, the overdraft fee from monthly insulin, the eyes that strain to see the road. No thanks, doc, I can't afford this show. The art of losing isn't hard to master. Going to the doctor can feel a lot like a captor, nervous for the blood draw and what can come after. The pressure cuff and tongue depressor reminds me of the latter, the one they say you can climb to avert financial disaster. Stay in school, become a recruit, or fingers crossed for the rapture. The art of losing isn't hard to master. We can't pretend that money is not a factor. Ones who pass too fast for the pastors. We can't pretend the system isn't making all of this harder. The art of losing isn't hard to master. When our healthcare system is set up, write it like disaster.
Yeah, give her a round of applause. That was beautiful. Thank you so much, Lindsey, for all the work you do with the Democratic Party of Orange County and the progressive movement in general. Thank you so much. Everyone, what do we want? We want CalCare, right? What do we want? CalCare. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? CalCare. When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? Yeah, guys. All right. So coming up next, we're going to go ahead and move to Mr. Chaz Helsington. Thank you, Chaz, for coming out today. Let me go around this way so we can see all the other beautiful people. All right, Chaz, go ahead. Activist.
I see a population of people that is struggling. They're struggling to get health care. They're struggling to survive for the basic sustenances from day to day. Healthcare is something that, as a civilized country, is being offered all over the world. And it's mind-boggling that our country is not joining the rest of the world in offering this as a human right. Over 70 years ago, Franklin D. Roosevelt had been advocating for a second Bill of Rights that would include making healthcare guaranteed as a right. Now is the time. There's no time to waste. We have people having to choose to split medication and other different basic substances, not being able to afford things like healthcare. It's just mind-boggling. As a country that's supposed to be the richest country in the world, we're sitting here. They're telling us, to me, it tells us that we're not good enough. We're not good enough? I don't think so. If you're a patriot, you're a person that believes in offering healthcare as a right to our citizens, and that's the true patriotic way to care about our people. Study done under Obama, around 45,000 people a year die because they can't access or afford healthcare. I think that's ridiculous. Now we're in a pandemic. Things are getting worse for a lot of people. The wealth income gap has gone away, or is getting wider. So we need to do the right thing. We need to make one small step here in California, and hopefully that will help expand this for catch fire in our nation, that we need to offer medical care as a right for all. And I do thank everyone for all their efforts in this, and we must do this. It's the right thing to do.
Yeah, everybody give it up for Chaz. Thank you so much. You're amazing. Thank you for all the work you do. It takes every single one of us. I've seen every single one of you at events, actions, and always doing the work. So it's amazing to be with so many great people. And when we organize, we win. All right, next up is a good friend of mine doing all the work and changing the world, Mr. William Moses Somerville. Give him a round of applause.
All right. Say it with me 3 times. Keep up the energy. Let's go. Keep up the energy. What? Keep up the energy. What? Keep up the energy. Why is it important for us to keep up the energy? Because we live in a nation, we live in a state and we're sick. We're sick and tired of being sick and tired. That's why we are advocating for AB 1400 to be passed in our state legislature. Because as we know, as California goes, so goes the nation. It's important for us to keep up the energy because we shouldn't have to live in a healthcare system that provides Medicare for the dying, because I work as a hospice chaplain and a hospital chaplain, and that there's Medicare for the dying, but we also need Medicare for the living.
Yes. Yeah.
And so because we need Medicare for the living, we have to keep up this energy to pass the CalCares Act in order to ensure that everybody has access and availability to health care.
Yeah.
In so doing, we must keep the pressure on the state health committee. We must keep the pressure on Assemblymember Jim Wood. We must keep the pressure on our governor, Gavin Newsom, to let him know that if he neglects us at this bill, he might just get neglected at the polls.
Yeah.
And we cannot have that. So we move forward to keep up the energy in order to live together in unity. Because when you have unity, you have community. So keep up the energy, move forward, and fight on. God bless you. Thank you.
Yeah. Woo. Yes. Thank you so much. Amazing. All you guys are great. I just want to go ahead and do one quick call to action for everybody here and for everybody who is watching. We're going to go ahead and text CalCare to a number. Muhammad, do you have that paper with the 699? I'm going to give it to you all right now. And when we organize, we win. When we organize, we win. So we got everybody out here today in support of CalCare. We're going to keep raising awareness about this issue. And to go ahead and tell us where we're texting the should be on page 2 there. It's gonna be CalCare, CalCare, trade me. And then we're gonna everyone, we're gonna text CalCare to 69866. That's CalCare, CalCare to 69866. Go ahead and text that because we're all going to be phone banking to get CalCare a possibility. This is what we need to do because when we organize, we win. That includes text banking, phone banking, knocking on doors. Luckily, this one's just a phone bank. So again, the number to text to is 69866. Text CalCare and get ready to start a Medicare for All revolution in California. Thank you so much, everyone. When we organize, we win. We win. What's the solution? Our revolution. Woo!